So this is the zero lag trend signals indicator by AlgoAlpha. Looking at it, you can see it's doing a pretty good job of living up to its name. That is, it's producing zero lag trend signals in the market. As you can see, we have a series of bearish trends followed by a series of bullish trends. Now, during transitions between bullish and bearish trends, the indicator instantly prints buy and sell signals, helping you to spot exactly where the market is reversing direction. In this video, we're gonna go over what this indicator is, and I'm also gonna give you a simple yet powerful strategy that you can use with this indicator. Stick around because this is one video you wouldn't want to miss. Let's get into it. Now, to get started with this indicator, you want to go to TradingView and then open any trading security that you like in any time frame. For me, I'm going to be using the 15-minute time frame of Euro USD. Next, click on Indicators and type in Zero Lag Trend Signals. And you want to select this one created by AlgoAlpha. So what exactly is this indicator? Well, the zero lag trend signals is a tool designed to enhance trend following strategies. It does this by minimizing lag and providing rapid trend insights across multiple timeframes. It utilizes a zero lag exponential moving average, also known as ZLEMA, to smooth out the price data while at the same time minimizing delay, offering a more responsive method of trend analysis. Now, looking at this indicator, you can see it's super straightforward. It's made up of the following components. Per usual, we have the trend ribbon, which changes color between red for bearish trends and green for bullish trends. This trend ribbon is based on the average true range, or the ATR indicator, which helps reduce false signals. We also have red and green arrows to indicate transitions between bullish and bearish trends. A red arrow is going to be printed whenever the market shifts from bullish to bearish. Conversely, a green arrow is going to be printed whenever the market shifts from bearish to bullish. But now, I know you may be thinking, but what about these tiny arrows along the trend ribbon? Well, these are called mini arrows, and they're going to be printed during retracements in the market. For example, if the trend is bullish and then the price retraces all the way back into the trend ribbon, as soon as a candle closes back above the ribbon, a green upward mini arrow is going to be printed. This acts as a signal for a potential long entry. Conversely, for a bearish trend, a red downward arrow is going to be printed during these pullbacks, which is a signal for you to take a short position. This indicator also displays trends not just on the time frame of your chart, but also across these 5 extra time frames as well. Currently, I'm using the 15-minute time frame, which is also included on the table. But we also have the 5-minute, we have the 60-minute time frame, which is just the 1-hour time frame, the 240-minute, which is 4 hours, and the daily time frame. Now, if you want to change any of these timeframes to something you prefer, you just double-click on the table, and then here you get to change the timeframes. You can also change the length of this indicator. You can also change the band multiplier, which is just the ATR factor for these green and red bands. If you want to reduce noise, you can make the bands a bit larger by increasing this number. But if you want to have more signals, maybe for scalping, you can reduce this number to make the bands narrower and narrower. And then down here, you can change the bullish and bearish colors to your preferences. The Style tab has several visual options that you can toggle on or off, but for the strategy I'm going to be showcasing in this video, I'm going to leave all the settings at the default values. After you've made your changes, click OK. Now, there are 2 methods of trading with this indicator. Number 1, trend reversals. Number 2, pullbacks. For trend reversals, we're going to be using the main buy and sell signals. We're going to use the larger labels that are printed between trends. For example, if we wanted to take a bullish trend reversal, we basically would identify a green upward arrow like this one, and then before you take the trade, you want to look at this table. It should indicate bullish trends across the 5 timeframes. So it should basically say bullish for all these timeframes. If any of these timeframes happens to be bearish, the entry would become invalid. However, for us, all the entry conditions were met, so we're gonna take this trade. We want to put the stop loss under the trend ribbon, which is usually just above this buy signal, and then set the take profit at 1.5 times the risk, letting the trade run, and as you can see, it was profitable. And of course, you want to do the opposite of this for a short position. Now, the second strategy of trading with this indicator would be to trade pullbacks. But how would we do that? You may be thinking, well, you see this mini arrow? This is a pullback signal, and that is what we're going to be using. First of all, you want to confirm that the trend is bullish by having the trend ribbon colored green with the price heading upwards. Condition number 2, you want to have a bullish pullback signal printed. This is going to happen as soon as the price comes all the way back, touching the trend ribbon, and then goes up to close above it. Once that happens, the pullback signal is going to be printed. The last condition is to ensure that the trend is bullish not only on the time frame of our chart, which is the 15-minute time frame by the way, but also across the 1 hour, 4 hour, and the daily time frame. The 5-minute time frame for this specific strategy can be excused because it's affected by this tiny pullback here. So it's impossible to have the 5-minute time frame also be bullish. So you basically want this table to say bearish on the 5-minute time frame, but bullish on all the rest of the time frames. If you can find a trade that is bullish on the 5-minute time frame as well, that would be also okay, although it's highly unlikely you'll find it. Once all the conditions are met, we take a long trade. You want to put the stop loss just under the most recent swing low, target a risk-reward ratio of 1 to 1.5, let the trade run, and the trade was profitable. Of course, you would do the opposite of this for a short position. Now, those are just 2 methods of trading with this indicator. But there is another way. In order to bring this third strategy to life, we have to add an indicator called Momentum Bias Index. This one by AlgoAlpha. Once you've added it, we're not going to change anything. So let's go over the conditions for a long trade. Condition number 1, we want a bullish reversal signal to be printed by the zero lag signals indicator. Once we have it, you want to look down here at the Momentum Bias Index. 2 conditions need to be met. Number 1, we need to have a bright green histogram bar corresponding to the buy signal. And remember, it should be bright green, like this. If it's dark green, like this one, the entry would become invalid. Number 2, we want this green histogram to close above this dotted threshold. That would indicate that the bullish momentum of the market is super strong, which increases the probability of this trade becoming profitable. We enter a long trade. Stop loss should be leveled exactly at the top of the buy signal. For the take profit, we're not gonna set it at the usual 1.5 times the risk. No, instead, we're gonna set it at 2 times the risk. Per my backtesting, this strategy is super profitable. Most of the time, it actually goes past the 2 times the risk. If we let this trade run, you can see it was profitable. Here's another long position. We had a bullish reversal signal, and then on that signal candle, if we look at the Momentum Bias Index, we can see that the corresponding histogram bar was bright green, and it also closed above the minimum threshold for bullish bias, which indicated that the bullish momentum in the market was super strong, increasing the probability of this trade becoming profitable. We take a long trade here, stop loss at the bottom of the trend ribbon, targeting a 1 to 2 risk-reward ratio, and as you can see, the trade was profitable. The opposite of this is true for a short position. You basically want to have a bearish reversal signal like this, and then corresponding to this signal, we want to have a bright red histogram bar on the Momentum Bias Index. That histogram bar should also close above the minimum threshold for bearish momentum to indicate that the momentum is strong enough to push the price down. We enter a short position here, put the stop loss at the very top of the red trend ribbon, targeting 2 times the risk for your take profit, and as you can see, the trade was profitable. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. 3 super powerful strategies within one indicator. The third strategy was definitely my favorite. So go ahead and backtest it if you're interested in using it alongside your strategy. Let us know what results you find out. Also, if you have any conditions that would make the third strategy or any of the 3 strategies even better, let us know in the comment section below. Your feedback is going to be super helpful in improving these strategies. Well, that's been it for this video. I really hope you found some value. If you did, hit the like button below and consider subscribing to stay tuned. Thanks for watching. See you next time.